How's it going, everybody? I'm Steve Ninja, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to rank the studio albums to the band Motley Crue. This was a band I really liked in the '80s. I think after that, and some of the '90s was okay. After that, it's kind of been hit or miss really for them. Back then, Mick Mars was really great in the '80s, and then health problems really started to kind of catch up with him a little bit in the '90s. Back then I really loved this band, so it's easy for me to kind of rank those earlier albums for the ones I grew up with. I was like 10 in 1983, so that was right at the Shout the Devil era. So this one's gonna be fun to do. So kicking this off at number 9, I have Generation Swine. This is released in 1997. It's definitely, I think, the most dated sounding album from Motley Crue. I really don't dislike this album. Really, Find Myself, Afraid, Generation Swine, Beauty, Glitter. I really didn't like the Shout the Devil '97. I don't think this band should be remaking their classic songs on studio albums, but there's some good stuff. Let Us Pray, there's some good stuff on this, but it definitely sounds like they were trying to fit in with the times. But it was reunited the classic lineup. So there's some stuff that I kind of liked about it, but that overall I just had to rank it last. But it's not terrible though. So number 8 from the year 2000, I have New Tattoo. This one was kind of a return of form for the band. Tommy Lee didn't play on this. He was replaced by Randy Castillo. You probably heard him from like Ozzy's band before. But this one I thought like it sounds a lot heavier. It sounds like a kind of classic Crüe. Just to name some of the highlights in this, I like Hell on High Heels. I like the song New Tattoo. I like the song Drag Strip Superstar. And I really like their cover of the Tube's song "White Punks on Dope." that one at the time I had never heard the original before, but then I saw it was a cover. I like their cover of it. So at number 7 from the year 2008, I have the Saints of Los Angeles. Obviously the title track, the Saints of Los Angeles, is really good. White Trash Circus, I really like that one. MF of the year, that one. I just keep this family friendly, not to have to bleep anything, but But it has some good stuff on it. I think it's pretty heavy, but it's obviously they haven't done a new album since this one, except recently they got back in the studio with John 5 and did something. So hopefully the new album might sound decent. Obviously I really like Mick Mars, but I think his health issues have been a big problem, and now he's suing the band and all that stuff. He's a co-founder of the band. But this will be the last album that he ever played on. But I wish Mick Mars the best. He's from Terre Haute, Indiana, which I'm from Indianapolis. So I don't know if he's been in Indiana besides touring here. I don't know if he's ever lived here. I don't know if he still has family here or not. But so he's an Indiana guy. So I kind of have to like Mick Mars. I really think he's an underrated guitar player. But obviously, like I said, I think his best playing was definitely in the '80s. But like I said, I think he's underrated. And number 6, this one was actually a last-minute audible. As I was kind of putting this list together tonight, I had it at number 5 originally, but at number 6 I have the Motley Crue self-titled album. This is released in 1994. Bob Rock came back to produce this one. It's featuring John Corabi. I think for some people they may actually have this at number 1. And I wonder if people have this at number 1. I wonder how much they really like Vince Neil. I think that this one's really kind of heavy. I think not only Vince Neil's, missing him kind of changed their sound, but I also think that it's just a lot heavier than some of the stuff they've done before. But some of the songs, it's kind of a little more bluesy in some ways. Songs like Power of the Music, I really like that one. Uncle Jack. Hooligan's Holiday, I think that's a great song, but I think it kind of overstays its welcome a little bit. It's almost 6 minutes long. I think when it gets close to the 5-minute mark, it's kind of when the album, when that song probably should have ended. I think it would have been a better song had they kind of did a little edit there. Misunderstood's really good. So, but on this, like say, as soon as you put this on, it just the drums and everything just kind of really hits you really hard at the time. So, but I like this one a lot. But like I said, some people may have this at number 1. So at number 5 from 1985, I had Theater of Pain. Some people kind of think that Motley Crue may have kind of mailed this in a little bit. Some of the issues that Vince Neil was having, before the recording of this, may have taken him away from it a little bit. But Nikki Sixx kind of writes most of these songs, and I don't really know. Besides singing, I'm not really sure how much Vince Neil really contributes to the songwriting on Motley Crue albums. Like I said, Nikki Sixx does all the lyrics. He writes most of the songs. So Vince Neil just goes on stage and kind of messes up the lyrics a lot of the songs live until now. Maybe with the backing tracks, then maybe he may sound a little bit different. But so I think the first single from this was "Smoking in the Boys' Room" for Brownsville Station. So they started this off with a cover. That's one thing. The song "Home Sweet Home" is obviously a classic song from Motley Crue. It has a City Boy Blues. It has a "Louder Than Hell," great song. "Tonight." So a lot of the stuff I really like. Kind of going back and listening to this again when I bought the remastered version of the album. I liked it quite a bit more than I did before. So this album for some people may be really low. Some people may have it a little bit higher than 5. I don't know, but 5 is probably as high as I can probably rank it though. Coming in at number 4 from 1987, I have "Girls, Girls, Girls." This is a big comeback album from Theater of Pain. I think they kind of refocused on this one. Wild Side, the title track, "Girls, Girls, Girls," "Dancing on Glass," "You're All I Need," "Bad Boy Boogie." Just has the Jailhouse Rock, the Elvis cover, the live version at the end of it. It was kind of strange, but overall, I like the energy on this. I think it's kind of refocused. Obviously those first 2 singles off of it are really great and classic kind of staples in their lineup. Set list. So really like "Girls, Girls, Girls." Coming in at number 3 for 1989, I have "Dr. Feelgood." This is the first album that Bob Rock produced. Some people may think this is the most overproduced album from the band, and maybe the most overrated album. But I love the way this sounds. At the time, this nobody had ever really heard anything like this. This is all on the CD. It says DDD. So it was like all digital recording, and he really kind of made them sound great in that. So, but the song "Dr. Feelgood's" really great. "Rattlesnake Shake," "Kickstart My Heart," "Without You," "Same Old Situation." That's a "Don't Go Away Mad." It's got a lot of great songs on it. But like I said, some people may call this their most overrated album too. But I have it at number 3 though. I still love it. So coming in at number 2 for 1981, I have their debut album, "Too Fast for Love." This one's really great. I love the production on this. I love pretty much all nine tracks on this on the original recording. "Livewire," "Come On and Dance," "Public Enemy," "Number One," "Merry-Go-Round," "Take Me to the Top," "Piece of Your Action," "Starry Eyes," "Too Fast for Love," "On with the Show." So I pretty much love all 9 tracks on this. So to me it was kind of tough making this number 2, but number 1's so great though. So I think as far as the production on this, I think Roy Thomas Baker had some involvement in this in some ways, even though he's not listed on the back of it. It's got like a Gordon Fordyce, I believe, is the guy that actually did the production on this. But I think Roy Thomas Baker had some kind of involvement in some of this because it just sounds so great. It's other than some of the stuff from Bob Rock, I think it's probably some of their best production. So coming in at number 1, I have "Shout the Devil" from 1983. This one's I think for a lot of people probably going to be number 1, but I've seen some lists where some people have this like number 3. So great songs on this. It was definitely their most metal album. I think as far as the imagery on the cover. After this they kind of became more of a glam metal band. But love the stuff on this. In the beginning, the title track "Shout the Devil," "Looks of Kill," it has a "Helter Skelter," the cover, "Red Hot," "Too Young to Fall in Love" is a really great song, "Knock 'Em Dead Kid," 10 Seconds to Love, and also "Danger." Love that last track there. So as far as this, I think some of the best stuff is on this. Like I said, I really like to hear people's kind of the ranking. Let me know how you would do this. I think some people may not have this kind of set up, quite this way. As far as the ranking, it doesn't really matter to me how you rank them. I have people give me the rankings all the time, and it's like I never tell them, I would never do it that way. It's somebody else's opinion, and then you're allowed to have a different opinion than mine. As far as Motley Crue, if you want to kind of watch some other good channels that give Motley Crue rankings, I really like Bryce Talks Metal. If Sea of Tranquility from Pete Pardo, you might see Bryce on there on Hudson Valley Squares. Sometimes on that, but I think he might be under 30. But he kind of gives you a different take on some classic '80s albums. And he really likes a lot of the great stuff like Dokken. He really likes them, but also George G's Room of Rock. If you want to check out that channel, he also did a ranking on Motley Crue not too long ago. And you know, it's like George kind of beats me to the punch on stuff when I think about doing something, and then I go to George's channel, and he's already done the ranking. So it's like I don't want people to think I'm kind of ripping off their ranking necessarily. It's just sometimes I go to different channels just to kind of give kind of a different take on how they would rank stuff. So check out those two channels, and there's a lot of other great ones. If you look up Motley Crue rankings, you'll see a lot of great ones on there on YouTube. So that's all I have tonight. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, consider subscribing. Please put a thumbs up on this video, and have a good night. Thank you. Bye.